So about 2 seasons ago, LeBron James had elbowed Isaiah Stewart right in the face, in which he received a bloody lip. He was bleeding from the side of his eye. And we kind of gave him grace. We understood why he was upset, even though he did go over the top, as my man was looking like Marshawn Lynch trying to bulldoze his way to get to LeBron. But LeBron was ejected from that game for throwing that elbow. But again, at the time, we gave Isaiah Stewart a lot of grace. But fast forward 2 seasons later, we see that Stewart might have some anger issues, as in his matchup against the Phoenix Suns, just him getting off the bus and talking shit to Eubanks and then sucker punching him, causing him to have bloody gums and loose teeth. And the situation even was escalated by their local police as he was barred from the arena. And Eubanks at the moment was about to file charges, and then he changed his mind 3 days later. But this situation is definitely bizarre, because once it starts hitting the TMZ world, the TMZ sphere, Isaiah Stewart got to understand, man, we're in the era of surveillance. And just the reporting of how this whole incident came about, them getting into that scuffle hours ahead before tip-off. Then it seems like around tip-off was when the incident was actually reported to authorities. And then Eubanks ended up dropping the charges 3 days later. But after the suspension, Isaiah Stewart reflected on the incident, and this is what he had to say.
I think obviously this is our first time talking to you since the suspension. Just kind of what led to that altercation with Drew and Phoenix.
Yeah.
What'd you learn from it?
First and foremost, I apologize to my teammates. Just the organization, because I always want to represent the organization in great fashion. So I apologize to my teammates and my coaches, just because we've been through a lot this season, and I don't mean to bring nothing up upon them, but I also appreciate them having my back. They let me know that they have my back through tough and through great things. So I'm glad to move past that and put it behind me, and appreciate obviously the fans in the city for sticking with me, and I'm ready to just get back out here and compete and win these games.
Yeah, the Pistons having it rough this season. I could imagine just all the losing, and you add on top of that just the frustrated moments. Just Stewart holding on to prior incidents from 3 months ago. You could tell all that losing during the season is frustrating him. But he might have an anger issue, because going after the moneymaker LeBron James like that was already crazy. But turning up on Eubanks, just walking away fresh off the bus, and I quote from the report, as soon as he got off the bus, he says, "Let's run that shit back." Eubanks started walking away, and then he says, "We could do this shit right now," and then he threw a sucker punch at him. Again, this is after he went after the figurehead of the league. He just had to be restrained from going after LeBron like 2 to 3 times. It took like 12 people to restrain this guy from what was he gonna do? Choke out the figurehead of the league? One of the people that's responsible for the players making so much money? It didn't make any sense. Even his own teammates tried to stop him because they understood he's going after the figurehead, the money guy, the player with the Midas touch, the reason why you cash in those checks. But he might have to go sit down with Udonis Haslem and just go squash it out with Eubanks on a podcast or something. That would be great. But Stewart is in the NBA. You don't have to be no punk, but there are no gangsters on TV making millions from other corporations. So for Stewart, I would say all that toughness he got is definitely needed in the league. He's going to earn himself a nice little contract somewhere, because some of these teams, they definitely need a little bit of that toughness. It's super rare to see in the league. But definitely, that shit should only stay on the court.